No, we are not in the home appliance section of your local supermarket, and this is not a new fridge, it's the new Nissan LEAF.
New is overstating it a bit. The only real novelty here are the more dense batteries, which now pack 30 kWh instead of 24. For those of you who, like me, know little about currents, voltages and think AC/DC is just a rock band, let's keep things simple and accept that more kilowatt whatevers is better. It means greater range. How much greater? Let's find out. For those of you living under a rock, let me just remind you that this washing machine is in production since 2010 and it was named World and European Car of the Year back in 2011. Bearing in mind the competition at the time was limited to Mitsubishi i-MiEV, I can imagine Nissan LEAF impressed a jury before they even had to drive the thing.
LEAF sounds like the chlorophyll-packed green stuff you find on trees, but in fact it's a very bad acronym for leading environmentally friendly, affordable family car. Whatever. It's the batteries we're interested in.
The 30 kWh battery is more dense because physical size is the same. You have to add about €2,000 to the cost of a regular 24 kWh LEAF. Depending on the market, you can either buy a LEAF with batteries or lease the batteries for between 80 and €120, depending on the time and mileage. The 30 kWh battery increases theoretical range from 199 to 250 kilometers. Theoretical, because with 24 kWh batteries I managed to drive about 160 kilometers in the city and on country roads. With 30 kWh battery, I easily do about 200 kilometers around town, albeit in eco mode. In town, energy recuperation B mode also helps to extend the range. If you plan ahead, you don't really have to use the brake pedal. But be careful, I watched my car-to-car footage and found brake lights don't come on in B gear even at high speed. On the other end of the spectrum is BMW i3, in which brake lights come on most of the time.
The LEAF is quite nippy around town and on country roads like these, and well, it's okay up to speeds of about 100 kilometers per hour. At higher speeds, it clearly loses punch. You also have to bear in mind that the eco mode does slow the LEAF down a bit, although it does extend the range by about 10 kilometers.
And how is it to drive? Well, absolutely normal. Okay, so the gear lever may look like a big nipple, and when starting, the LEAF plays a little welcome tune. At low speeds, it also whistles to warn pedestrians and cyclists, but chances are, in city traffic, they won't be able to hear the LEAF coming anyway.
The seats are super comfortable, like in the old Nissans Maxima or even Laurel. Remember those? These were some really cool cars. On the other hand, compared to bland Nissan Sunnies and Tidas, the LEAF at least looks funny and amusing on the outside, because the interior is rather dreary.
After the facelift, we now get things like new sat-nav and 360-degree camera. This comes in handy because the LEAF doesn't have parking sensors. Thanks to Nissan Connect EV app, you can also remotely precondition your car so your range extends. By the way, the app was hacked a few months ago, fortunately by an engineer who informed Nissan about it.
Under the bonnet is a 109 horsepower electric motor with 254 Nm of instant torque. In the front is a flap with 2 charging sockets, and this is where things get a bit complicated. Without going into technical details, there are 4 types of charging for this car.
Number 1 is your home electric socket. For a 30 kWh battery, this is going to take over 12 hours. In my case, it was over 16 before the battery was 100% charged. Number 2 is a home wall box. This makes home charging a bit more stable, and then it takes just 8 hours. Depending on the market, a wall box may cost around €1,000. It should be compatible with other electric cars, but some brands may offer their own more powerful wall boxes, so charging a BMW i3 from a Nissan wallbox will not be as fast as the other way around, provided that. Number 3. Your Nissan LEAF comes prepared for a 6.6 kilowatt chargers. That costs another €1,000, but it will cut charging time from 8 to 4 hours when you use regular city chargers. And number 4 is fast chargers. This takes about half an hour to charge the battery up to 80% capacity.
Charging the batteries for 12 or more hours pretty much means I will need the wall box at home. You may have a life and drive somewhere after work. Sure, you don't need to fully charge the car every day, but then why do you need the extra range in the first place? And as far as the 6.6 kilowatt chargers are concerned, well, it depends on your local charging infrastructure. In Poland, CHAdeMO chargers are rather rare, so you're more likely to find 6.6 kilowatt charging points. If you have fast charger, say along motorways, then you're fine.
Nissan offers an 8-year 160,000 km warranty on the 30 kWh batteries and 5-year warranty for the 24 kWh batteries. Besides new sat-nav, I see no big changes in the LEAF. The instrument cluster is clear, even if somewhat childish. Sat-nav is, in my opinion, too small and too low. If you ever wondered why a growing number of car manufacturers use these tablet-like displays on top of the dashboard, it's because they are much easier to glance at. USB and 12-volt socket are low next to the smartphone shelf. Why in an advanced car like this there is no induction charger for your phone? There are also decent cup holders, good-sized door bins, glove box is deep, but storage under the armrest is average at best. Front and rear seats are heated. Also, the rear seats are comfortable, at least for average height passengers. I have some headroom left even in the middle seat, however the tunnel with batteries does limit my legroom. Back seat split 60-40, but due to the batteries there is no flat loading space. The boot has 370 liters, just 10 less than a Volkswagen Golf, but the shape is a bit more irregular. And there is also the high sill.
Nissan LEAF starts at €23,000 if you lease the 24 kWh battery and €29,000 if you buy the battery with the car. In case of the 30 kWh battery, it's €28,000 and €34,000 respectively. This Tecna model costs almost €37,000. For this kind of money, you're looking at BMW i3 with the new bigger battery and faster charging time. Oh, and you can have the BMW i3 with a range extender. That's, of course, an option, but it gives you a truly universal solution.
Do you think 200 kilometers range is enough for an electric car? Let me know in the comments below. Share, rate and subscribe. New episodes every Friday. And if you like what I do, please contribute to my Patreon or PayPal, links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.